I've got a secret to tell you. Many of you know that I recently lost my Instagram account at 14-15k, so I just feel I have no more fucks to give. So today we're gonna talk about which brands that are easy targets for collaborations, which brands that just hand out freebies like it's nothing. We're gonna talk a little bit about freebie hunters and certain tactics used by some here over at YouTube, and we're gonna talk a little briefly about playing the game. So grab yourself a glass of water, get your lips in position, and let's get into it. Oh damn, I forgot my fancy fragrance reviewer intro with a little bit of tingling and a techno beat to that, but hey, that is my intro and I'm gonna stick with it. Now, the last thing I did, get your lips into position, was a clear reference to Michaela over at Curly Fragrance or Curly Sense. I never know which one of them names they've got, those two ladies. But she's a superstar. She's a superstar at playing this game, and I just wanted to do that because if I always did that in my videos, put your lips into position, I would get better. But she knows how to play the game and she gets away with it. I'm totally fine, I'm not against it, but that is just how the world works today. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how the fragrance influencer world works today. So I've said we're going to talk a little bit about brands that are easy targets for collaborations, and we're going to talk a little bit about how the fragrance world works. But first off, we're going to start with something that I've been touching before in this channel, and that is the freebie hunters. You know, there are many ways to hunt freebies. I'm going to start off by I'm going to put a timeline down below so you can skip to the parts that you want to see. Now, the first tactic often used here at YouTube is a disgusting behavior. There are channels that are around 1,000 subs and up to 20,000 subs I've seen using this tactic, and it works like this. They contact a brand, often a small, new, upcoming brand, indie brands, and they say, hey, I want this bottle of you so I can do a review and share it with my viewers. All hunky-dory. And they're often those smaller brands, they don't have that kind of money to pump out bottles all over the world. So what they then do is, well, if you don't give me the bottle, I will order your sample set and I will smash you down. I will talk you down. I will talk shit about you. And I think it's just disgusting. Now, I've seen two videos. Both videos has later on changed. One has been taken down and one other has been edited. It's been taken down first, edited, and then uploaded again. Now, the one video I'm going to talk about today is not longer online. It's been taken down, and that was a dude with 18,000 subs. He reached out to a small English brand and said, hey, I want a collaboration. The brand said, well, we can give you samples. He got the samples, he didn't say anything else to the brand, and then he got the samples and he started off by saying that he didn't like fragrance reviewers because he's not per se an exclusive fragrance reviewer. He did watches and stuff like that as well, because they often just read the notes of Fragcom. That happens a lot. I've been touching that as well. So he got into that and started to say, I reached out to this brand for collaboration. They sent me the samples. Now, I normally don't review samples because it's the full experience you need from a bottle, and you can't really build an opinion about those samples. That was his words. Then he dived into it. This was kind of a first impression of some of them. Others he already had tried. So he started with the first one and went, oh shit, that smells bad. How can anybody want to smell like this? And then he sprayed the next one. Oh, this smells so bad. And then he sprayed the third one and he started, oh, there's only 3 notes listed in this. Well, there's only 3 notes in this one. He was reading the notes from the website from that company. The notes were suede, tobacco, and leather. So I thought immediately here is something dodgy. He's not being completely honest. And he said that this was a simple fragrance. It was built up very easy with you only using 3 notes, and you don't use only 3 notes for a fragrance. For suede, for example, many times you use saffron to enhance the suede feeling. Leather is a synthetic note built up of a bunch of other notes to get that leather scent in there. So And it was very animalic, that because I tried that fragrance later on. Anyway, he said that this was just a money grabbing company, just pushing out fragrances to grab money. If you believe that building a fragrance company just to grab money, you are way wrong, because it is a jungle. You need to fight your way in to get some attention. It's not cheap. You don't get into this to only make money. I mean, the competition those small indie brands are up against is Roger, Sergio, Fragrance Dubois, all the designers. They're multi-million-dollar companies. No, so he was tripping. He was just doing that because the fragrance company didn't want to give him a bottle. So I reached out to the company and said, that is what you get when you gave in for freebie hunters. You should never ever say yes to a freebie hunter. You need to do your homework. You need to look at the channels, at the accounts over at Instagram, if they are serious, if they are doing a good job, if they are worth working with. So I got those samples sent to me from the company. He said, well, maybe you want to try them. Sure, I said. And I can tell you one thing. Those fragrances were nothing easy about. They were heavy, they were complicated fragrances, complex fragrances, not going to be for everybody's liking, at least. Now, that is one tactic of freebie hunting. He took the video down. Now, I have my suspicions on why he took it down. Maybe he came to an agreement with the company, maybe they sent him the bottle or something like that he wanted, so he took his video down. I've seen that happen before as well. Now, another way of freebie hunting, when I lost my account on Instagram, around 14-15k I did a lot of posts. I posted almost on a daily basis, but there were certain persons, they never ever commented on my post unless it was a gifted product. A gifted product, I added that it was gifted, or I added the paid label ship sticker on the top on the screen there. Then they were always commenting, oh, I wish I could try this brand. Oh, I love this brand. I wish I could try them. But how the fuck do you know you love the brand if you haven't tried them? The thing is, it's okay to do those comments, but they tagged the company. They tagged the company in the comments. So it's just another fucking annoying way of begging for freebies. Wishlist posts with tagging the brands and stuff like that going on. So there are a lot of different ways to get those freebies to you. But let's talk a little bit about the companies that you can get collaborations with. I don't think it is a big secret that Fragrance Dubois hands out freebies. But I don't think you all know just how simple it is to get a collaboration with Fragrance Dubois. I got a collaboration when I was at 5k. I bought some fragrances from them. 2 or 3 I had bought. I did some posts about them. They liked it. They started interacting with me, and I said, hey, I'm soon at 5k. I wish to do a giveaway with you. Is it not something you can support? Sure. They were all for it. The thing is that I got 3 bottles sent to me for that giveaway, and they supported 100 ml of Oud Blue Intense for that giveaway. So it was pretty easy. And I've seen accounts on Instagram around 2-3k getting those collaborations. The only thing they have to do is to DM Fragrance Dubois. Look, if they see this, if Fragrance Dubois or the other companies see this, I'm dead, I'm gone. Anyway, I've seen accounts from 2 to 3k reaching out to Fragrance Dubois in DM saying, oh, you're a lovely brand, but I'm just a student and those fragrances are so good, but I can never afford them. But if you send me something, I will promote the fuck out of it. And they get the bottle sent. I've seen it on TikTok as well. But there the accounts are very different sizes, so maybe it's a little bit more acceptable. But giving to 2-3Ks for begging, it's fine. Fragrance Dubois choose who they send to. It's their business, but you just need to know how easy it is. Another company that is pretty easy to get free bottles of today, well, believe it or not, they didn't used to do it, but Roger does it today. I mean, how many Apex bottles haven't they sent out? Now soon, I believe you, we're gonna see a lot of free Manhattan bottles. And it's the same way there. I got a collaboration with Roger when I was around 6k, and I believe it was 6k. And it's quite a funny story because I was interacting with another influencer on Instagram. We talked about doing a collaboration, and he said, hey, let's do a live about Roger. and get Roger to sponsor us. And I just laughed and said, you're fucking crazy. What's gonna Roger want to do with us two fucking nobodies? And he was American, so with a high self-esteem, he just said, hey, what can go wrong? Just send a request to Roger. The only thing they can say is no. So I did that. I sent to Roger and I said, hey, I'm going to do a live here, and I have some fragrances, but I wish I could have a little bit more, so I get a little bit more to talk about. 2 weeks later, I had my wish, Sweetie Oud, at home. So it's that simple. And today it's even more simple. I've seen so many freebies from Roger around on Instagram. Now let's move on to a couple of companies that don't want the fragrance influencers to disclose the collaborations. No, I haven't experienced this myself. I've heard it of somebody that heard it of somebody, and that way on. So I'm a little bit hesitant to call out those companies, but the rumor is so strong, and I've heard it from very trustworthy sources. So one company is the company that makes Hachivat and Ani. They they send out freebies, but you don't want to disclose it. One of the terms is don't disclose that this is a freebie. Another company I've heard doing that is a company that makes Naxos. What else do they have? Popular fragrances. They have Naxos, Crystal Sur, Ivory Root. I guess you know which company that is now as well. Same thing there. You can get a collaboration if you don't send out that it is a collaboration. Two pretty big companies that do some dodgy stuff. Other way freebie hunters, or not freebie, collaborations works many times is that you get a request from the company. Whenever I do a collaboration, I get a freebie. I always said I want to do my thing. If I smell it's good, I do one review about it, and if I like it, there will be liner posts, there will be reels done with it. But if I don't like it, I'm just gonna give you an objective review. Many companies didn't like that take on it because they didn't believe in their own fragrances. They wanted a certain amount of post with that bottle. So that is another way to think about two collaborations. Now, let's move on to playing the game. In the start of this, I did a clear reference to Michaela. She's a superstar, so she probably can take it. Nobody will know about me myself, a fucking nobody. But she plays the game, and she plays it goddamn well. And that is a big part of this here on YouTube. Playing the game and playing it smart and playing it well. And she does it because she gives the audience what the audience wants to hear. Her audience are it's a very specific audience she is targeting. She is targeting boys, young men up to 25-30 years old, thereabout. And she gives them the panty droppers, the complimented, the head turners, all those she gives them. And she does it with that smart way as well, that she always include, not always, she's very versatile like that, but she often have one of those popular fragrances that everybody knows about, and then she makes it up with fragrances that maybe not everybody have heard about yet. And that is a great way of doing it. I prefer that more than the same channel always repeating, giving you the same bottles over and over again. And one way that worked here on YouTube is that one trendsetter is Jeremy. Even though I don't agree with his taste, I always know what he is pushing at the moment, because we all already knew about Nautica Voyage. We knew that it was a great bang for the buck, but yeah, cucumber opening, fresh, and all of a sudden I saw every channel talking about Nautica Voyage. I just knew, no, Jeremy is pushing for Nautica Voyage. And that is playing the game. He sets it, and then everybody else there think it's good for the algorithm, so they start to talk about Nautica Voyage themselves. Works the same way on Instagram, but on Instagram it's a tiny bit different, because there the algorithm is constantly changing on Instagram, so you don't know what's good one day might not be good the next day, and so on. But there are some brands that always do good, that always reaches out more than just to your viewers. Chanel, Zara, Dior, Sauvage, for example. those three brands always do well in my post. Also Guerlain Fragrances does that quite a bit. So, And that is one thing. Another thing, playing the game on Instagram, I've seen so many people, oh, I hate Sauvage, I'm not wearing Sauvage, I'm so boring fragrance. And then they hit the speed bump, because on Instagram you get pushed for a certain amount of time, like 3 months. You get really pushed by the algorithm, and then it's dead. You don't grow anymore. So what many of those people do then is they buy a bottle of Sauvage. They show you the bottle of Sauvage to try and get out of that speed bump. Some do it in a fair way. They just buy the bottle and still tell you it's a fucking boring scent. Others, they buy the fragrance and start, oh, I've changed my mind. I love this fragrance. It's so good. I can't believe I didn't like it at first. So that is a way of playing this game. If you like this video, please give me a like, a thumb up, a comment down below if you want to hear how I grew my account from around 2k up to 14k in pretty good fast speed. I'm going to talk about that if you want to hear it. If you stay this long, and you all know what to do by now. Stay safe and be well, and I'll see you around.